Warren Harris did not practice today. Lamar Dawson did not practice today. Matt Cleo did not practice. Amir Carlisle and Christian Thomas. Hopefully we'll have all those guys back, if not tomorrow, by the game. As far as practice, I thought that it was much better than last Tuesday. Guys came out, good reaction to not playing well in the fourth quarter last week, and back to work. So it's an exciting game for us to be back home in front of our crowd and work to get a win, to get to 4-1 to go into a bye.
There is a Yahoo Sports report that while you guys were at Tennessee, Willie Mack Garza may have provided money to Will Lyles for an unofficial visit. Your response?
Yeah, I did read that. All I can say on that is that the alleged incident I had no knowledge of, or knowledge of a relationship at all. And I have been, always been committed, wherever we've been, to doing things the right way, cooperating with the NCAA. So that's all I got on it.
Is it common practice for assistants to engage in that kind of behavior without the knowledge of the head coach or the recruiting coordinator?
I don't know. I don't know what people do.
Have you heard back from the league office regarding those TJ McDonald hits?
We have not yet, no.
Have you gotten any indication from the NCAA that they've reopened an investigation into you?
As I said, I can't respond anyway on any of those questions. I said what I said about not knowing anything about it, or anything to have to do with that relationship, or any of the things that are alleged.
Would you be surprised if they came back to you?
That's not for me to judge.
You were
Was that the factor? Was that the factor in Willie Mack personal issue of his leaving?
Yeah, like I said, I can't respond on anything besides what I said on this in any shape.
You've been talking a lot about the freshman mistakes, ongoing sort of issues. Is there a certain point in the season where you don't expect that to happen as much anymore, and have we reached that point?
Yeah, we have right now, because as I said before the game early in the week, there's really two things as a freshman or as a player who hasn't played college football, because you are a freshman until you play, just because you practice, it's different. So there's really two steps to get over with, and the first one is you usually play your first game at home. The first one is going through a game period, and we saw those in the opener with a lot of first-year starters. And then the next one, as we improved in week 2 and week 3, the next step is going on the road, especially if you happen to go into a big game on the road. There's reasons why, if you look into other conferences, why a lot of people schedule different games early so they can get through those before they have big ones. And we saw it happen again. And it isn't necessarily gigantic plays that jump out with you right away. It's little things that cause bad things in plays to happen. Little things you don't see, just watching the game or on TV copy of why plays don't work, or mistakes that are made. So this is definitely the time, and we've talked about that, starting Sunday, that now there are no more time for freshman mistakes or newcomer mistakes, because there's no excuses anymore.
Were you questioned about the alleged payment before Willie Mack resigned before the season opener? Did you talk to NCAA people or USC people about that?
Yeah, as I said, Gary, I got nothing more to say on this. I've said what I said.
About Arizona this week, it's a team that's had a difficult
We do have a game, yeah,
schedule-wise with Oklahoma State. And
Gary forgot about that. 4 questions.
Stanford and also Oregon. It's a wounded team, a team that's probably going to be pretty hungry this week.
Yeah, they are. And, last time they came in here, they won. So I'm sure they're going to be confident. They're getting healthy. They're getting some guys that have been banged up that played a little bit last week, and expect some guys back this week. So they're going to be ready to go. They probably played the hardest schedule in the country, playing 3 top 10 teams the way that they did. 3 great offenses. Everybody talks about where they're ranked on defense. Those are great. Those are some of the best offenses in the country they played. So they're going to be ready to play. Just like us on offense, they have the same thing on defense. They played a lot of first-year guys. They lost a lot of guys, and they're going through some issues there. And I'm sure they're thinking the same thing we are. It's kind of time for those mistakes to stop now.
Are you surprised the defense hasn't forced more turnovers?
Yeah, really am. Probably, I think I said everything, probably the most surprised of anything that's happened over our time here this time around is the lack of turnovers that we've gotten. And now we're screwing up on offense too. And that's why we're last in the conference in both turnovers given away and taken. So very surprised for as much attention that we put on it. We've tried basically about everything. We even gave them ice cream if they got turnovers. That didn't work. Thought that would work with the linemen. You'd be surprised.
Did you offer ice cream, to the offense for not turning the ball over?
Yes, we did. We did that both, yes. And
Like popsicle?
we tried no real ice cream, because we only give them sugar-free yogurt. They don't like that. So we said they could have a real ice cream. That still didn't work. So we're trying everything. Hopefully it'll turn around this week.
Did this game confirm concerns you had, or did new things occur that you didn't really think were going to be problems?
In what aspect?
Like, I'm sure you were worried during the 3 wins about certain aspects. Did that arise more against Arizona State, or did new things happen you didn't anticipate would be problems in games for you?
No, I think a lot of the same, or a lot of the normal concerns that you would have going into your first road game into a loud environment. Line of scrimmage issues, communication issues, first-year players and assignments. And not playing fast in that environment, which it's impossible to simulate that environment. And then the turnovers. Turning the ball over and not getting turnovers and stuff. If you go on the road, you better pack your defense. You better pack your run game. And if you don't, you see what happened in the first half. We weren't able to run the ball, and we didn't play very good defense. And that's why I think 21-9.
Matt talked about the turnovers, in part using the word focus or lack thereof. How do you coach focus and getting guys to do better with that?
Yeah, we just continue to work on it out here. Continue to show shots of turnovers and them getting forced and how people are getting them out. Just do everything that we can, and hopefully it'll turn around. Sometimes it does. Sometimes all of a sudden it just turns around. You don't do anything different than you have been, and all of a sudden you go +4 in a game. I'm sure Arizona State after a week, they probably didn't change very much. They just kept doing what they were doing, and all of a sudden come in with us after turning the ball over a couple times the week before and doing a much better job. So sometimes it just turns around.
Are you guys giving Andre Walker a tackle?
Yeah, we are. Put him out there. He was there early in camp. Moved him into guard, thinking that he'd compete in there and possibly start in there. That's gone a little bit slower than we had hoped, and so we moved him back out to right tackle to create some competition there. And we obviously weren't satisfied, nor was Kevin with his play in the game Saturday. And so, like we're committed to doing here always, we're always going to try to create competition and see if we can improve our players.
Is there a danger of relying too much on Robert Woods during the game as far as using him as much as you do?
Yeah, I think that huddle in general, sometimes gets a little bit out of whack, with the young guys, and that's why we were reluctant to put Andre in there as well, on the road. And now you got, you would have had 2 true freshman guards in there at the same time, and then all of a sudden he's got all the other guys, the freshman tight ends, Amir in there, and Marquise. So, that a lot of times lends us to relying on Robert. But we got better in game 3 of not doing that, and then we went on the road and kind of had to go back a little bit because other guys weren't being as efficient.
Any update on when Marquise Simmons might be back?
No.
What about Jesse Scroggins? Is there a timetable for him to be able to start throwing again?
Yeah, we think pretty soon.
Were you happy with Ross coming in fullback, and does that mean Red Ellison may get some more time at tight end?
We were very pleased with Ross. Really good story. Guy's only been over with us on offense for a couple weeks due to some injuries and some other issues. We moved him over there to try him out. He was actually a tight end at first, and then he did such a good job. We put him out at fullback, and so really good story. We use him. There's some good stories in there that we use with our team too on Sundays. Here's a guy that had been there for a couple weeks, went in, did a really good job, matched up on Burford a couple times, and played really well.
He's way down the depth chart, but what's going on with TJ Bryant? Is he hasn't dressed like that last couple games? Is he hurt or just not?
No, we're trying to redshirt TJ, so he can improve.
Anything else for Coach?
Does he surprise you at all that Dion has been kind of one of the most consistent players on defense considering you switched some positions this year? And does that continue to validate your decision to move?
Well, I think that's a credit to Dion. Really, his focus as soon as he got over there and really doing extra stuff and always trying to watch extra film. Those 2 guys have been great stories that we use with this year's class. There's Hayes and Dion. Even though they redshirted, they still practiced hard when they were there. They still were focused. They were attentive in meetings, and it paid off. And now they go in, as starters in their first year.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.